Welcome back to Show Me What I've Been Missing, your pop culture podcast that says, hey, remember that thing? Or, hey, look at that thing. I screwed up our own tagline. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Elizabeth Stanton. And with me is our other host,
Chris Mack. What's up, guys?
And we are working through Sex and the City from beginning to end. We're right kind of smack in the middle of the series now. Chris has not really seen it. Yeah, he's seen some of it, but not like start to finish. I've seen it too many times. So we are in season 4, and we just watched season 4, episode 3, Defining Moments.
Very good episode, I think, as far as content, because there's a lot of gray areas when it comes to like dating and relationships. All relationships, I even just like romantic ones, there's some gray areas. So like, this episode was kind of about, what people talk about nowadays still is setting boundaries and because boundaries definitely help you define relationships.
And sure. I wrote the word situationship a lot because it felt like that's kind of what was happening with Carrie for most of the episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because where do you want to start with her?
Just go ahead? Yeah, we already got to mention her. Yeah.
So the first words I wrote was, Carrie is on a fucking date with Big.
That's what I wrote too. I was just like, this is happening again. Really, we're doing this again. Like, he was doing so like season 3. She was like, nope, none of this. I don't want it. She got him out of her life. I was like, there was like friends, but like not really friends. Like towards the end of season 3, they were acting a little stupid, but like she was like, nah, I'm not having it.
Yeah.
And then this opening down, I was like, oh boy, here we go again.
Yep, they're on a little she's like
friend date.
A friend date. Bullshit. And although I did write Big does sleight of hand, and goddamn it, I would fall for that shit too. I won't lie.
You fucking love magic,
I love magic.
You fucking love magic, dude.
I just want someone to do sleight of hand for me.
That's so
make
funny.
My day.
That's so funny that you just like love magic.
Like I was thinking, I tried to do it in a stand-up set, but I didn't work it out in time. But I genuinely love. Everyone's like, "Oh, dating a magician, that would be the worst." I was like, "That would be so fucking amazing." You guys are idiots.
Okay, now if it's, I could see where it can be annoying if it's like. If the motherfucker's doing it all the time, like we'll talk about it in the next episode, like the guy that Carrie ends up going out with, like if that's all they want to do and all they want to talk about, then it's like
yes. I feel that way. Like if I went out with like I swiped right on someone and I didn't read that they were a Disney nerd right away, and I was like, oh fuck, because like I like Disney shit. Who fucking doesn't? Disneyland is fun.
I don't want to talk about it. If that's the only thing that we talk about is Disney shit, and that's gonna be boring as shit.
I reread the profile and it was like plans trips almost every weekend, and I was like, just to Disney? Do you know how much other shit there is in the world?
Right.
In the greater Southern California area?
Right.
Like, there's a lot happening besides fucking Disney, dude.
Right. No shit. Yeah, for real.
Ugh. These nerds. Anywho. I'm one of them. Fuck. Anyway, so Carrie leaves Big on the doorstep.
Yeah.
And he seems to think they're gonna bang.
Yeah.
But she she finally says, nah, they're not. Yeah. They're not doing that.
Yeah, I don't even know where he even kind of got that hint from, because even in the in the last season towards the end, and even at the beginning of this one, they were kind of like, a little bit flirtatious. She never really indicated that they were like anything was gonna happen. Like there was some flirtation, but it was never like they didn't have sex for sure.
Yeah, and like I think it's the end of season 3 when they fall in the pond, and then
he tried to kiss her. She
was like
dumped herself in the fucking
and then even when they go back and like get dried off and they're in robes, he kind of lays back on the bed and she stays upright and is like, no, we're not doing this.
Going home. Yeah, she went home immediately.
Yeah, and she should. But
she shouldn't be hanging out with this guy anyway, especially like, okay, because that's my thing too. Like I feel like I just think I just don't think it's possible to be friends with an ex, especially not an ex that you shared such a strong or deep or just like
toxic,
or just like,
yeah.
I mean, like the impact that this relationship had on her as a human being, like what it did to her friendships, what it turned her into and shit like that. It's like, how can you in your brain think that being friends with this guy is okay?
I don't know. Yeah. And that's what she tells the girl. She's like, I basically went on a date with him, and they're all like, what the ever loving fuck are you doing?
Yeah, no, even Samantha was like, bitch, what the fuck?
Yeah. Samantha's like, I can't, and they all think she's sleeping with him, and she insists she's not. And she's like, it's great because then the pressure's off. Yeah, Samantha's like, have fun, but don't have amnesia. Right. And Miranda talks that they need boundaries. And I also wrote, like, this kind of feels like a first time I heard boundaries in pop culture, maybe.
Yeah,
I could
probably,
be wrong.
Yeah, it could be.
In my pop culture existence, when they said it, I was like, everybody talks about it now like crazy. Everyone's like, I'm setting a boundary. I'm setting a boundary.
But see, here's the way that the difference between this kind of boundary and the way people talk about it now is completely different. Because now it's like every little thing. Oh, you gotta set your boundaries. Like, oh, I set the spoon on the fucking scoop side down on the table. Oh, you gotta set boundaries for that. Make sure, like calm down. Not everything needs to have a boundary, or not everything that you discuss is a boundary. Some things are just a pet peeve you have, and like that's not a boundary you said. That's just like a thing that you have.
It's not all trauma, and it's not all boundaries. Everybody's really abusing that.
Yeah. Which is also like kind of denigrating the actual impact setting boundaries has, because like if you set a boundary on anything, it was like, why the fuck am I around you if like I can't do anything to trigger you or to not trigger you or whatever? Like, come down.
Yeah. It's so
crazy.
Stupid.
Anyway. Yeah.
But the girls don't trust her, and neither do I. And she ponders, like, what's a relationship? What defines a relationship? And I was like, I don't know, probably not like cheating on your partners with each other. Seems like a really good start. I don't know.
That's a pretty good one. Or also just like not hanging out with your ex.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I have exes that I'm still cool with, but like, we don't hang out on a regular basis. Like, I'm not going to see fucking jazz music with them, or I'm not going to like the movies with them or shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's too messy. Listen, no matter what, period, even if the person that you're hanging out with, that's your ex, is in another relationship, there's feelings there, period. There's always, especially if like, okay, unless you only dated for like a week and tried it out and then like nothing happened, I don't even really consider that an ex. However, but like somebody, if we're looking at Big and Carrie's situation, like it's too deep for y'all to be friends. Like, you'll never just be friends. Like, there's always going to be something there, and with that something always being there, there's always room for y'all to kind of slip back into familiarity, which is whether it means like sex or like dating again, or it's just going to get complicated. Period.
And he really, really wants the sex part of things.
Of course. Oh yeah,
that's almost all he's after. It seems like it's crazy. And it's not crazy. He is crazy.
Part of me thinks that he only wants the sex part for, it's gonna sound fucked up, but like the conquest of it all.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because she is telling him no. And a man like that who runs everything and runs his businesses and makes a lot of money, he's like, I'm not like this woman tell me no. Like, nah, I'm gonna get that.
And because and like I couldn't have her the way I wanted her before, and then she was with someone else. It's all about like you said, conquering conquest. It's only because he can't have her directly that he wants her the most now.
Absolutely.
But so as you said, they go to this jazz club. Side note, I fucking hate jazz. Sorry. I just can't get into it.
You're not the first, and you're definitely not the last. It is the dying art. I think specifically for that reason, like a lot of people just can't really get into it, and it's like not as popular as it used to be. Like when it was first started, of course, it was a new thing, and people, everybody was into jazz, or at least pretended to be into jazz because everybody else was into jazz. But
can I be honest? I feel like it got.
I mean, it's still around. It's a great art. Yeah. Keep
I feel like it got taken over by the most annoying white people. And I am a white person. If you only hear the audio,
I will say this: if a person like Big is in the Jazz, you might be onto something.
Yeah, it's. Like we watched the episodes back to back. I'm like, I feel like I should save some of it for the next episode.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah,
so I will. But moving on, so they're at the jazz club. Big is trying to flirt with her, but she's like got the hots for the bass player, who even drops her a note asking if that's her boyfriend.
Yeah, they were like giving each other the eye while he was giving her the eye on the stage and shit like that. Which it's so funny because like this is another thing about Big that's so hilarious. He's so conceited and wrapped up in himself.
Yeah.
He didn't even notice that dude was literally like giving her fuck me eyes. Like the entire time he was playing, he's just like, oh, these guys are great, right? Like I told you, like I'm so cool that I brought you here. I'm so awesome that I know this kind of music and I introduced you to this. And she's like, yeah, that's cool. I want to fuck that guy. Like,
and he doesn't, he doesn't
notice. Not even listening.
Till they meet the bass player guy, Ray is his name, at the bar. And then Big is like, oh, there's some sparks and shit here.
Right. And this is the complicated part because clearly he has feelings for her, whether it just be like the sexual feelings or maybe there's a little bit deeper, doesn't matter. Now it's awkward because you're out with your friend and now this person, this is why you can't hang out with your ex like that because here's the thing, even if you're like, that's what I'm saying, like if I'm hanging out with my exes, like even if I was in a relationship, there's still going to be a little bit of jealousy there because there was that connection. Like you always feel that connection to them. It's like you don't want to watch them be with somebody else. That's like weird, you know what I mean? So yeah, jazz musician comes up, the bassist comes up and he's like talking to her, flirting with her, and Big just like, whoa, I don't like this. It's like, yeah, you think that wasn't going to happen? I also think he doesn't like it because it happened to him first instead of the other way around. Yeah. And I guarantee if some girl was hitting on him, he would be like loving it. He'd be
like, what? Why are you bothered?
Yeah, what's going on?
We're just friends.
We're just friends, Carrie. Yeah. Asshole. Which he also showed he would do that because, first, the jazz guy where they're talking at the bar, they're hitting it off, and then, she's like, Carrie's like, well, I'm gonna go because this is awkward and I'm fucking tired. And the jazz guy's like, hey, I'll go with you because I'm heading that way anyway. Yeah. And then Big all of a sudden is like, oh yeah, I'll come too. Like,
I'll come. I have a car. And we'll bring the car around.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I can call my car. He's like, at this time?
and then the jazz guy's like, yeah, you could just cabs are plentiful outside. You don't need to order the car. And then the three of them cram into a car, which is extra funny because neither Big nor the jazz guy are small guys. They're actually kind of huge dudes.
Yeah, both
and so
of them,
they're crammed in that cab.
Yeah, I think Big is like 6'2", and I think that other guy's like 6'4".
That guy was like 6'4" or something.
Yeah, at least
he's huge.
Yeah, he's fucking
in a good
tall
way.
As shit. Yeah. Tall as shit.
They were both tall, and then like
he was in that movie, The Cinderella Man. He was the big baddie that he fights at the end, the bear. That's what they called him.
Oh well, he's definitely
he's huge.
Not a small feller.
No.
And so then Ray gets Carrie's number and Big has to give her his pen so that she can write it. And they keep flirting, and I just wrote, haha, Big deserves all of this.
The thing, I'm surprised though that Big actually gave her the pen.
Yeah.
To let her write a number down. But you can still see he was still affected by it because he like as she's writing a number, he's like, oh, 619. Like he was like saying the rest of the number, like letting the guy know, like, oh, I know her number too. Yeah, I know her number.
How you like them apples?
Yeah. Which kudos to this dude because through all that awkwardness and Big trying to assert himself, he was not shaken by it at all. He still kept doing his thing, still kept hitting on Carrie, still kept focused on the goal at hand. So shouts out to him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So then she gets out of the cab and you think she's leaving them to share a cab, except Big slid out of the side and she's like super annoyed he followed her, which I would be too. Yeah.
But here's the thing though, low key, I'm kind of glad he did do that. Yeah. Here's why. Why on earth would you leave that dude in the car with your ex for him to talk to him for however many blocks they were going to be driving or however many miles? And he could be saying anything. He'd be like, oh, she's not that great in bed, or
she's crazy.
She's crazy. Her shit.
She cheated on her boyfriend with me.
I mean,
so think about that.
That dude, Big knows way too much shit about her that if he wanted to destroy that whatever little potential that could have been, she basically his overwhelming jealousy saved her ass because he could have
Yeah.
been a lot more savage about it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more.
And then he keeps making fun of, the jazz guy Ray and trash talking to him. And she's like, what kind of friends are we? And
Oh,
he's
boy.
like, well, are we? And he does his little eyebrow thing. And she's like, knock it the fuck off. We're not having sex. Get over it.
My man is trying though. I ain't mad at him. I mean, But here's the thing now. To be fair, she has said no, but she does keep hanging out with him, and it clear.
Yeah.
And as far as I don't know, like how often they hang out, but as far as this episode was kind of the way they were alluding to, it seems like this is like a weekly occurrence that they're hanging out. At least once a week, which is first of all way too many times to be hanging out with an ex ever, ever.
Thank you.
Ever. Like if you're gonna hang out with an ex, it should be like once a year, if that. Like, and that's only if y'all like literally stay like somewhat friends. You know what I mean? And I shouldn't even be talking on a regular basis like
that. Or you share kids or some shit.
Maybe it's at best, at best, maybe like I said, if y'all are married to somebody, maybe it's okay, but
and then
you still can't just like hang out with your ex on a regular basis like that. Like because the way they kind of made it seem like she was hanging out with him more often than she was hanging out with the girls.
Yeah. So when she gets upstairs, though, she gets a call from Jazz Ray, and he's pretty smooth. He's playing a song. He's like, it reminds me of you. And I'm like, that's pretty slick. It's pretty slick.
That was a very like 90s move.
It was.
It was a very 90s move. Because I can tell you what, like countless times I've called the girl, like played her a song, like, oh, I was just thinking about you, and this song reminded me, and I just wanted you to hear it. Like, I don't know if you ever heard this song before, but this is a song that makes me think about you.
Yeah. But her other line beeps, and it's fucking Big, and he's like pestering her, and she hangs up, and then she gets a date with the jazz guy. And then right after that, Big calls her again, and I liked this exchange so much. I wrote it down. He's like, "What are you seeing that guy?" And she goes, "He knows when to say goodbye," and slams the phone. I was like, "Fuck yeah, finally!"
You can't get that anymore. We got cell phones now. You can't hang up like that. That's a
tap.
That's a hang up you can hear on the other line. Like you can hear that crash of the. You know what I I mean?
Yeah. God, it's so. I miss that.
God,
too.
I miss it. I like the Jazz Mood guys vibe because like it was. You remember when people used to leave? It was just you like music, and then like about 10 seconds of music, then you hear like, "Hey, I can't come to the phone right now." He was giving me those vibes when he was doing the music thing. I was like, he probably has a jazz song for his voicemail. You know that guy.
Oh, absolutely.
No, he does. He's got fucking Bird or somebody, man.
So then it all culminates in probably the worst date night of a lot of these people's lives. Ooh. Carrie's on her first date with Ray at a new restaurant. Big is there with a date too, and she's like a sweet but kind of just dim model. Yeah. And Big clearly dislikes her, which I feel bad for the model because I'm like, she didn't fucking ask for any of this. He's just dragging her along. She's just a girl thing. But it's the same thing with his ex though. She didn't ask for none of that shit that happened to her too. She's like, I'm just a girl that like attracted to this guy who I thought was cool, and now I'm getting like shit on for no reason. Yeah, and then Samantha's there with her date, which we will get to in a little bit. Yes. And they're all at the table, and like Big is pouring Carrie's drinks, doing stuff for her, and Ray kind of is like, he's not dumb, so he kind of catches on and goes to hang out at the bar, but Carrie joins him there, and they actually get to a proper date because he's like, that table is bad, the vibes are bad at the table. And I was like, by the way, another shout out to the jazz guy, because like that's a very alpha male kind of move. Well, not alpha male, but like a very assertive type of move. Like, really, he wasn't shaken by Big because he's like, you know what? I'm gonna see this girl, like see what's going on between them. If I leave the table and she doesn't come over, I know what's up. He probably would have just left and been good, but she came and followed him, so she clearly liked him. That's a great move because he didn't start no shit. He didn't like try to like alpha the guy, be like, oh, I got it or some shit like that. He's like, nope, I'm just gonna take myself out of the equation because what the fuck is the point? I just met this girl. I'm not about to fight over her. Right, exactly. And I love that at the table, Samantha asks Big if he and Carrie are just friends. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, what exactly do you think you're doing? He's like, because she seems strong, but she's fragile and you need to back the fuck off. And I'm like, Samantha is the best friend a girl has ever had. I don't ever want to hear anyone ever talk shit about her again.
They can't.
I know we've said it 800 times across these episodes, but if they just like consistently prove it without even trying to, like, that's such a friend, like don't you fucking hurt her, like I swear to God, like Samantha would absolutely disappear, motherfucker.
It's like, how did they not bring her back for the revamp? Like,
because these aren't her real friends. She has a real friend group that she's having a good time with.
That's why, you know what, she got sick of these bitches. It's like, you know what, y'all been judging me, fucking, I've been fucking gassing y'all up, and I've been like protecting you bitches, and y'all ain't never did shit for me. I'm out this bitch. That's exactly why. Because when she stepped up and said that shit, I was like, why is she the best friend though? Like,
she's the best friend.
Why is she literally the best friend? Like, they don't do nothing but judge her and talk shit about her every time she like tries to do something new. But like, she always has their fucking back. Like, she didn't have to do that for Carrie. She knows what this guy is for her, and she could have easily been like Miranda or Charlotte and just been like, well, if she gets hurt, fuck it, that's what's gonna happen. Like, no. She stepped in and was like, no, you need to get a new life, bro. Like, this ain't it for you.
Like, people like Miranda, and Miranda is a voice of reason and a lot of these things, but she's so harsh and judgmental about it. Samantha is a voice of reason, like wrapped in, some genuine kindness, where it's like, compassion. I understand, what you're doing or feeling, but I don't think you should do X, Y, or Z. Right. Like she said, like, have fun, but don't have amnesia. Like, don't get hurt again. You do that. And that was a sweet way of saying, like, you keep fucking doing this, you ding dong, like, knock it off.
Like, but, who this guy, you know what this guy equals. He equals big equals heartbreak. Yeah. That's what she was basically saying. And she knew that too. Like, and she could tell too, because I don't even, again, I think she could also see through him, because she and him are very similar. Yeah. In the way that they kind of operate life. So she could see through him, like, this whole, I'm her friend thing. Like, you could tell he's only doing this friend thing to work his way back into Carrie's life. And she's like, not having it, bro. Yeah. Not into it.
You are not welcome here, sir. So Carrie walks in on Big's date in the bathroom doing cocaine.
Always fun. As she do at an opening. I mean, like, that's a very like stereotypical model move. Like, she's a supermodel that does coke. Oh, where have we seen that before? Everywhere, like.
Yeah, I joke, but it's sort of true so I haven't been to like all the Hollywood parties, but I've been to a mix and some. I was led to believe by films and television that I would do nothing but walk in on people doing cocaine in bathrooms. Never happened to me once.
Oh, because here's why you didn't walk in on them doing it in the bathroom. It's because they do it in the living room. Like Hollywood parties, they don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I've never seen people do cocaine so casually until I moved to Los Angeles. Like,
I'm not going to like house parties. That's why. Okay.
Okay. There you go. Okay, that's why. Okay, yeah. If you go to a house party, especially like if it's all industry, it's right there on the table, like it's everywhere. You're just like, oh, are you doing it in the kitchen too? Okay, I just wanted to come and get your beverage. Okay, I'm going to you're doing it in the bathroom too. Okay, sweet. Where's there not? Oh, patio. Fuck, you're doing it there too. All right. Like, there's like nowhere you can go to avoid it. I ain't never done it, but I'm just saying, like, I ain't never seen people do cocaine so casual. Like, because I'm, back in Dallas, yes, there's cocaine at the party, but at least people go to the bathroom, or it's like they're secret about it. It's like, hey, do you want to do a little, like, it's not. They're just like, bah, here you go. Take what you want. It's like fucking crackers and cheese at this point. Like, just a party refreshment.
This is my charcuterie board. Here's the prosciutto and the cheese and the cocaine.
Right. Your 5 main food groups. Yeah. Cheese, crackers, and cocaine.
So, but this model girl is sweet because she even offers Carrie some cocaine, and while the model is literally peeing in front of her on the I don't get how this bathroom at this restaurant worked at all. It was very strange. But
that's so weird.
The model says Big talks about Carrie and asks if they used to date, and Carrie's like, something like that. And then she finds Big and she's like, hey, your girlfriend's doing coke in the bathroom. And Big's like, we're gonna go. Like, he's all offended. Like, he had the bad time. Whatever.
Right. Yeah, like, first of all, I mean, I guess it wasn't his fault technically, but like, y'all kind of joined their table. Like, they didn't invite you to the table. Samantha walked up and said, hey, I got the last table. And then the model was just like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could have easily been like, nope, that's their table. We're gonna.
Yeah, but because Carrie was there, he was like, yeah, let's get on that table, asshole. So then Carrie walks home with Ray, and he's like, I love this city. It's like a jazz riff, and I just want to throw my TV out a fucking window. God, it's so stupid. Anyway. But they're flirting and having a good time, and that's nice. And she seems really happy. Yeah. And they get to their doorstep and they kiss, and she's like, I really like him. And she's like, maybe what defines a relationship is another relationship. I guess like you compare them is the logic.
Yeah, I don't know if I really agree with that whole situation, because it's like, why are you using your parameters for? I mean, I can understand you using your relationship with Big as a way to like determine what you don't want in a relationship. If that's what she means, then I totally agree, because you should be doing that, because
I think that's what they were going for.
Then I'll take that. I'll accept that. But if you just mean like which one is better, like you're just comparing it to like which one is better in the sense of like that, like, stop it.
Yeah, like I'll be honest, I have a little work crush, but I was like, here's what we're not gonna do. All the shit I did before. I learned all sorts of hard lessons. So I'm like, if it's someone who likes me, they will find me, you know, that kind of like, not gonna try to be like, oh my god, let me follow you around and let me talk to you about it. Idiot.
No.
It's okay. You had to learn some lessons, sweet baby child.
Of course. But here's the thing with Carrie, she's already learned that lesson 3 times over. So like, you know, every dude you date, like also too, you had a good dude. His name was Aiden.
Yes.
You fucked that up.
You fucked that up so hard.
You fucked that up. Big
for my complaints about Aiden as a person, I think that we'll get to at some point.
Sure.
He obviously did not deserve it, but it's funny. It's really the way she treated him, for a lot of people, puts him above all the other boyfriends. Because
absolutely.
Because he was an innocent in all this, basically.
Yeah, well, he also put up with a lot of bull. I mean, just
put up with
her
a lot
bullshit.
Of bullshit.
Yeah, well, just her bullshit in general. Like before Big even came into the picture, he put up with a lot of shit and like had to walk her off the ledge a lot of times before she was like determined to destroy that relationship.
She really was. She was like, how do I implode this shit like now?
Yeah. But it's also because that, I mean, also like, you know, she just gotten over the toxicity that was Big. So I can kind of get, you know, where that would come from, but yeah, whatever.
So who do we want to talk about next? I do Trey and Charlotte?
No. Let's do
that last.
Let's do Samantha.
So yes.
Actually, fuck, hers is juicy too, but like
we'll do a little sandwich.
Let's do no. Let's do Miranda, because like hers is like weak, and then we can do, because we can end up with like 2 juicy talk, because we can do either Samantha or Charlotte and Trey.
Yeah, so Miranda's is pretty straightforward. She's dating Jim Gaffigan. Not as plain.
Oh, yeah, because I got so much shit to say. Yes, let's definitely talk about this one for sure. Yeah, I got so much shit to say.
So she's dating him, and
his name is Doug, by the way.
His name is Doug.
I got a best friend named Doug, but that's just like the most awful white guy name ever. Like, it just says, like, you can't, like, there's nobody out there that's like a hardcore Doug. Like, I don't know no Dougs that was like a fucking crime fighter or like a military guy.
Excuse me, like, Quail Man, Doug.
He didn't even have any powers, cuz. He just wore a belt around his head.
And his underpants outside of the
outside. That's it. I think he could fly. I take it back. He did well, at least in the intro, he could fly. That was it. But like in a whistle, he didn't have no other powers.
Fucking Quail.
And his own Doug, here's the thing. That's how you know Doug is like a dweeb name. Because even in his own fantasy, he only had like one skill, and he couldn't even fly like fast. He could just fly.
Yeah. Did the dog do everything?
Yes. His sidekick was the actual hero in his own fantasy.
I hope Doug got therapy. I don't know.
Anyway, so she's dating Doug.
She's dating Doug, and they've been kind of dating-ish. And then the first time they spend the night together, he pees in front of her in the bathroom, but and that's the first time that's ever happened to her. And Miranda's like, well, tell Charlotte about it. And Charlotte's like, oh, well, only a boyfriend would do that. And I wrote down, I'm team Miranda. Wait your turn, you nasty.
Yeah, that was like, because that's a note that I wrote down. It's like, listen, I understand that people consider that a form of intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. I'll accept that. However,
very early in the process.
And secondly, bathroom boundaries are always like forever important. I don't care how long we've been together. If we've made a point to like never do that in front of each other, then we can never do it. Other than an emergency, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if it's like a crowded restaurant and you know we can't get into the bathroom, we have to wait in line or some shit like that, maybe an emergency. But like I understand how she was a little freaked out by that, because like if you've only been dating a few weeks, that's definitely not a time to be.
It's too early for that.
Way too early. Like you got to get a couple months in before.
So, but she's like gonna try to work with it, and you know she tries to like pee with the door open.
Yeah.
But he like busts in like the fucking Kool-Aid man. Is like, where are the bagels you said you had? And he blows his nose before he leaves and tosses. And she's like, oh my god, she's so grossed out.
Fam, I would be too. Like chill, bro. Like you barely know me, and you like trying to talk to me while I'm peeing and shit like that. Like, nah, bro. Like there's no reason we should be this close. And correct me if I'm wrong. They hadn't even slept together, right? Or
no, they had. That was like the first night they like slept over at someone's apartment or whatever.
Right.
And then the straw that breaks the camel's back is she's talking to him from the kitchen, and she realizes that he's pooping with the door open. And that is just too much.
No.
And there are farts and everything.
No. It wasn't even just pooping. It was a wet poop. Like there was an audible sound of like bubbles and things coming out of that ass. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like a. It was like. It was like it sounded like coffee shits. That's what it sounded like. Yeah. And let me tell you something. No. No, dude. Like, sorry, man. You like listen, because he was even saying it, he was like, oh yeah, when I have coffee in the morning, it makes me go like that. I was like, nah, bro, you don't, if you know you got shits like that, you don't do that at your girl's house. At least not until like 6 months or longer.
Yeah. Funny story, there was a headline, I don't know where she was from, but some woman held in her farts so much around her boyfriend that she had to go to the hospital. It was a Brazilian
singer. Yeah. First of all, that's just stupid. Bitch, go outside. What are you talking about? You just held it in like you couldn't go outside to the patio or nothing like that. Like, come on, like you're a star. Like I'm sure you got other rooms in your house to go fart in.
As someone with a sensitive tum-tum and a need to fart myself, sure. I will wait till like I can get to a bathroom or something like that, you know, like at work or whatever. Just although one time I thought I could let one squeak out and it sounded like a balloon popping. So and it was noticeable. It was like I had blown up a balloon and popped it.
I'm laughing because like I can hear the sound because I've definitely had one of those before, and you can't do nothing about it, like because it echoes, bro. Like you can't do. You just like, well, you have to admit it because where else could the sound have come from? Like
I was just luckily there were not a lot of people in the area. It was at like my old job where there was like a little kitchenette and there were like a lounge area and other edit bays and stuff, and there were really only two people kind of down the way, and they like kind of both looked at each other, and I just kept like making my like lunch or whatever, or breakfast or whatever I was doing, just pretended like I didn't do anything, but like they kind of had a look on their face like, did you just like balloon pop fart? And I just pretended like it never happened.
Dude, that happened to me in class one time. It was like we were doing a test, so quiet as shit. Yeah. And I had finished mine. It's like, well, you know, if you finish your test early, you can just like chill out. So I was like sleeping, and it happened in my sleep, and it woke me up. And of course, I'm looking around. Everybody's looking at me. I'm like, I'm like, it is what it is. Nigga, I was sleeping. I didn't have no way to. Like, the muscles were relaxed, baby. I was getting a good nap in.
Yeah. And I feel bad sometimes, like if I'm relaxed in bed and my cat is sleeping on or near me, and like I accidentally just
fuck that. That's the cost of being taken care of.
I fart in that cat's face a lot.
That's caretaker tax. Fuck that. It don't count. It don't count if it's a cat or a dog. They gotta take that. They gotta take that If I feed you every day, you gotta take a fart or two, my boy. Especially if you sleeping in my bed.
And if he keeps taking swats at me and trying to bite me, yeah, you're gonna get farted on, dude.
Yeah, you gotta get this fart, bro. You gotta catch this gas one time, bro. Sorry.
Learn your lesson.
Yeah.
And that's it for Miranda. She dumps him, and that's kind of it. It's not much of a plot line, but it's there.
It's there. It is what it is.
Like a fart in a room, it's there.
So who should we go with?
Trey and Charlotte or Samantha? Who do you like?
Let's go with Samantha because her story is kind of also kind of short too.
Yeah, it's short. It builds. It will build later, but
yes.
So Samantha's at an art gallery event that Charlotte is hosting, and she meets the artist Maria, and they kind of hit it off.
Yeah, they're like kind of she's like talking about the art, and then she's like, love your art, but like, where are the guys? And then she realizes this is a lesbian art show.
Yeah, and Maria's like, there's no dudes because I'm a lesbian. And Samantha's like, oh, okay, cool. And then just laugh it off and have a good time. And it's actually really nice.
Yeah.
And Samantha wants to buy her art, so she meets up with her at her like loft or something downtown. And she said, and Maria's Brazilian, and so she says it's like a thing where she invites people to help do the painting with her, and it gets a little intimate as they're washing hands. And Maria's massaging Samantha's
to the
hand.
point where even Samantha was a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's like not expecting it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I've tried being with a woman, but it's usually in a threesome, and it's like not. And she also says she's not a relationship person. And she offers to just be friends, and Maria's like, oh, okay, that's all right with me. We can just be friends. And I like that there's no like shock or disgust from Samantha. No. She's just like, hey, that's not my thing, but we're still cool.
Also, too, it low-key shows you how in touch with other communities she are, because she knows that usually lesbian relationships, they kind of shack up rather quickly when they start dating, like move in really quickly. They kind of like get into these very intense relationships very, very fast.
Yeah, that's always
she knows. She's already aware of that. It's like, I mean, it's not always, but like she knows that they did. She's aware of like that being in the culture, that like it could this friendship or this hookup could turn into 6 months of a relationship without her even trying. So that's another thing that makes her so fucking cool. She already. Like, she's out there, you know what I mean? Which we already kind of got shown that in the last season when she did the party for the hookers, the trans hookers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we know she's in touch.
Right.
With
she's like in touch with in touch with the real world. And so at the restaurant where Big and Carrie are having their bullshit, she's technically on a date with Maria, which if I were Maria, I'd be like, oh my God, these fucking people, get me out of here. I don't know if I can.
You saw she was ready to go. She was like, I ain't about to be here with this shit. She was not about it. Yeah, because the whole time that they were like, this shit was going on with Big and Carrie, and Samantha was looking at him with the eyes of death, like, I'm gonna fuck you up, Big, if you keep fucking with my girl. Like, poor Maria was just over there miserable, just like she's like, why, what the fuck am I doing here? How did I end up in this? I thought I was going on a date with like a nice blonde, and now I'm in drama. I'm in a fucking Shakespeare play right now,
right?
Yeah.
So Samantha goes to the bathroom and Maria follows her, and they kind of talk about the situation. Maria's like, you know what, I can't just be friends with you because I like you more than that. And
I mean, I was impressed, but I was a little bit turned on by Samantha when she went off on Big. I was like, I'll date you.
Because she says, she's like, what you did at the table was amazing. And it's like, hell yeah, that's pretty hot.
I was a little turned on. I was like, all right, I think that's the person I want to be with.
Yeah. And Maria's like, I gotta opt out of this though for myself, because she's like, I know myself, and I'm a relationship person, and if that's not what we're gonna have, it's kind of gotta end for me. But then Samantha ends up following her into one of their weird bathroom stalls that apparently multiple people can go into. Don't ask, I don't get it.
I don't either.
But she follows her in and gives Maria a kiss. And that's it's nice.
Yeah.
And they're kind of officially a couple, I guess.
Trying it out.
Trying it out.
They're like, I would say they're dating at that point, right?
Yes, date. Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, the bathroom thing is still confusing because it looked like it was like a single.
Yeah.
Just like like the big, like something that had the big, where it's like the big bathroom and it's like, one toilet, but it's like a big space, like enough for somebody like somebody's like handy capable, they can go in there. But then like there was also kind of like stalls as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with these bathrooms. It's like a double, triple or something.
I did not understand the layout one bit.
Also, if the restaurant's that packed, you need to have more than one, like singles in the bath. Like, no, sir. No.
Makes you wonder what the men's room looked like.
Jesus Christ. I never even thought about that, but let's not think about that because it's probably awful.
Yeah. But it's not, it just, this was like a big deal at the time. Like, oh, she's trying out lady sex. Ooh, lesbians.
Right.
And it's so funny to watch it now to be like, it's so like chill and like whatever, But
it's also weird too because, we'll get into that in the next episode. But like, it's funny. Yeah, you can definitely tell that. Like, that's how you can tell. We keep, for as many things where they were kind of ahead of their time in this show, where they talk about things, there's also episodes like this where it's clearly a time capsule where like it's a specific time in our society where certain things were taboo and certain things were regular to speak. And this is one of those things that were, I guess, taboo in the sense. Yeah. Anyway,
speaking of taboo though, let's talk about Charlotte and Trey.
Yeah, my man Trey is a monster right now.
Backseat, windows up. That's the way he likes to fuck.
My man Trey
he's an animal.
Right, he's trying to fuck everywhere. They're at parties. He's trying to fuck in cabs. He's trying to fuck in bathrooms. He's like, "What's good, Charlotte? I want it all the time." Yeah, I mean, I get it. She fine, but like, damn, Trey. Trey. Take it down, bro.
Trey got his shit working and was like, can't stop, won't stop.
Yo, real talk. She's like, I'm gonna use this thing. And you know what? Here's the thing. It makes sense that he's a beast like that. Fucking, he worked out all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, his testosterone levels must be insane. He must be like 150 testosterone. Like, it's crazy. Like, because I think about all that frustration that he was,
all that tennis he played.
Bro. And he's releasing that now with his wife. Shit. I'm surprised she ain't dead.
Talk about getting your back blown out.
I'm telling you, bro. He probably hurting that poor girl.
Yeah.
I mean, she seems to be loving it though, because like she's kind of into it, like clearly, because like, they're talking at the party and he's like, "Oh, I want you right now." And she's like, "Well, let's just get our coats and we can go back home." He's like, "No, fuck that. We fucking in the coat room. What's good?"
So and at brunch, she's like, "Have you guys ever done it in a bathroom?" And then she asks about other scenarios, and they all say like yes. And she's like, "I'm frustrated though because I don't know if we're dating or we're lovers or we're occasionally fuck buddies. Like, what is it?" She girl needs the categorization.
I mean, I kind of get that though, because that is a very complicated situation because they were, married and then they kind of got separated and then now they're kind of dating again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's a weird
a sort of
gray area with their relationship. Yeah, kind of like that. And unfortunately for her, even Samantha can't even help her do this. Like she's just saying, "Hey, enjoy it. Like his dick's working. That was the problem before. Enjoy that dick." But it's like it's more complex than that. It's not just the dick. It's like there's more to it than just like the sex. You know what I'm saying?
I love that scene because like they're out shopping with, they're all shopping together and Carrie spots a hickey on Charlotte and they like are all dying. And Charlotte's like, "We got it from making out at the movies." And then she gave Trey a blowjob at the movies. And Samantha's like,
which is crazy.
Girl's a freak.
I mean, I knew she was a freak, low key. We all like we can go back and get the evidence that she was a freak, what I'm saying, from a long time ago. But like I guess it's she's letting more of her freakiness come out because it's her husband. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like just some guy that she's dating that possibly could be her husband. Like she married the dude. So she's still a freak though.
It's a more comfortable freak zone for her.
Yeah. It's like allowable freakiness.
Yeah.
It's no taboo-ness because it's like, "Oh, that's my husband. I can do that." Yeah. How you gonna judge me for fucking my husband in public? Oh wow.
But what makes her lose it is Samantha's like, well, it sounds like you have a nice, healthy relationship. And Charlotte's like, wait, if Samantha's saying that, it's not a healthy relationship. So the next day they're like she and Trey are in a cab making out like crazy, that poor cabbie. And he's like trying to bang her in the cab. And she's like, look, are you only doing me all these places because you're scared of doing it in the bedroom at home? And he's like, Charlotte, we shouldn't discuss this in front of the cab driver.
Yeah, but he was ready to fuck her. And
yeah.
First of all, also too, like, let me tell you something. I want anybody to know, if you ever made out in the back of a cab or an Uber, you're disrespectful. They don't want to fucking hear y'all making out. They don't want to hear no sounds. They don't want to know that shit. Save it for where the fuck you going. Like, nobody wants to. And here's like, I've done it, and like thinking back on, I was like, man, that's just disgusting and disrespectful. Like, I shouldn't have been doing that because, like, nobody's trying to hear that, bro. Nobody's trying to see that.
Nope.
My dude's just trying to make some money, and he don't want to hear like spit sounds and shit like that in the back. Like, and also too, like, nigga, don't fuck in my cab. I don't want to have to clean that shit up. All y'all gonna do is get out and go do whatever y'all gonna do, and I gotta fucking spray the shit down and wipe it down after y'all juices are everywhere. Fuck out of here, bro.
Gross.
Yeah.
But Charlotte calls him out. She's like, oh, you don't want to discuss this in front of him, but you want to have sex in front of him. And she gets out of the cab and she's back at her place, and he calls her to kind of sort of apologize. And then I died laughing because he's like, if we make love in bed, can we still do it in a taxi? And she's like, yes. And he goes, alrighty then.
Hit her with alrighty, yeah.
But it sounds like things are good for them, which I like, because I do like them together.
I do like them together, yeah. I was kind of hoping that because
they're both fucking weirdos in their own little rights, but
they're just dorks. They're two dorks. There's two rich dorks that should be together. Period.
And as a dorky person, I'm looking for a dork of my own, and I love my dorky little Trey.
Yeah, they're just two little rich dorks that should be together.
Absolutely. A little alrighty nerd. I love him.
Little McDougal in there.
Little McDougal. But yeah. Sweet. So cool. Where can the people find us? Well, I'll tell you.
Thanks for asking, because I'll let you answer that.
You can find us most easily through Instagram. We got at Show Me What Podcast, and that'll take you to our Facebook or Twitter, all that fun stuff. And you can find me at Elizabeth Movies on basically all the socials media. And Chris, where can they find you?
I changed my name. You can find me at Christopher T. Mack on all social media. That's my new name. That's my full name, because I couldn't do. I tried to do Chris T. Mack, but then I realized it was like Christy Mack, and I don't like that. You know what I mean? So it's Christopher T. Mack. Yes, Christopher T. Mack.
All right, I typed it in just now into my. I have a template for all our episode stuff that I when we post it. So you are officially updated as Christopher T. Mack.
Yes.
On Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. Congratulations on the name change. I know you've been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah, I know I needed to do it because I feel like, the game was cool. It sufficed for a while, but like people need to know who the fuck I am. So if I'm gonna like make any kind of waves in this business, so that's me.
Yep. Look, it was a big deal. Our one host at the show I work on, she had like obviously her real name was on the thing, but her ats were still like her kind of original, not jokey, but kind of, and then she got it changed and was super pumped. She's like, I got it through Twitter and Instagram, and made a big announcement like, I am at so and so, and
man,
it's a big deal. Like, I get it, because it's so funny that they make it so hard to change, because it's like, can you respect that you invented this shit like 20 years ago when we're like, it's just for fun, whatever, and now it's like, I need a professional Twitter name or I'm gonna get fired. Like
or no one's ever gonna take me seriously.
Or no one will ever know who I am or like find me, make your
and luckily I'm glad too, because it used to be back in the day when you try to change your username, you had to like start a whole new profile. Now you can just change it. It's just so much better, because man, I was not trying to, especially on Twitter, because I had to do that. I did, I changed my name a couple of times and had to start new accounts and get new followers. And I'm pretty sure I lost at least like 50 followers within the 2 transfers. So like, it's great. Anyway,
so find him there and follow him there. And as always, don't forget about the candles from Arlo, Australia, and not just candles. There's oils and wax melts and all that good stuff. And promo code Show Me Miss, save a little money. And until next time, Don't do it in the back of a cab.
Yes.